Good day, ladies and gentlemen, little sisters and brothers. Pit stop question. Remember our SOAR, S-O-R, video series when we discovered she was not only a living vehicle, but she was also responsible for satellite living vehicles as well? You remember when we discovered the nations are trading with her in the midst of the sea and beyond the stars? Right, little Miss Ivy. Gentle strangers, if I tarry not, please allow me yet another question. Remember we just discovered scientists have created 6 new programmable DNA building blocks? You remember when they told us the new DNA passes every criteria needed to interface with our 4 puny human building blocks? And the only obstacle in the way from them going live on its own was to invent a way for their new DNA to feed itself? Right, little Miss Ivy. I pray not to test your patience, but beseech thee to ask one last question. Remember a long time ago when I did a video called "The Antichrist Will Be a Cyborg," and all of you showed your true colors by banding together to denounce me before the world? You remember when I read Uncle Ezekiel chapter 28, 2 through 5 in the Septuagint? Quote, "And thou, son of man, say to the prince of Tyrus, Thus says the Lord, because thine heart has been exalted, and thou hast said," this is what he said, "I am God. I have inhabited the dwellings of God in the heart of the sea. Yet thou art man, and not God, though thou hast set thine heart as the heart of God." He's about to ask a question now. Personal quote. "Art thou wiser than Daniel? Or have not the wise instructed thee with their knowledge? Hast thou gained power for thyself by thy own knowledge or thine own prudence, and gotten gold and silver in thy treasures?" Listen up, listen up. "By thy abundant knowledge and thy traffic, thou hast multiplied thy power. Thy heart has been lifted up by thy power." And I said this sounds like someone who has access to the World Wide Web via a quantum computer, thus able to solve age-old equations and all of the answers the world could ask at the blink of an eye. I can't hear your answers because this is a video. But if you remember those things, check this out. According to Tech Time, New York Post, and Science Robotics, etc., under "Scientists create living machine that can eat, grow, and evolve," April 24th, 2019. I'm going to let the beat rock so you can see just how close they are to creating our Jewish brothers and sisters' super Messiah. You know, the one they are looking for that will have all of the answers to the world's problems. Oh yeah, please remember, the mad scientists said their new DNA is fully programmable, meaning it can be programmed to morph. Hey, little Miss Ivy. Check it out. Quote, "Engineers at Cornell University," so you know it's big time, "engineers at Cornell University have created a DNA-based biomaterial that is more lifelike than ever seen before. Their creation is capable of self-assembly, organization, and metabolism, which are the 3 key traits of life." Bingo! Now for the self-sustaining part. Under 3 key traits of life. Quote, "For an organism to sustain itself, it must be able to remove old cells and create new ones. Biosynthesis and biodegradation are key to self-sustainability, and it must be capable of metabolism to sustain itself. Using what they call DNA-based assembly and synthesis of hierarchical, which is dash materials, engineers developed a unique biomaterial that has the basic properties of living things. From nanoscale building blocks, listen up, listen up, listen for this morph power. The material can arrange itself into polymers, then into mesoscale shapes. The DNA molecules multiplied hundreds of thousands of times, and it synthesized new strands when they introduced a reaction solution. As it did, the front end of the material grew and the tail end degraded, which created a moving motion that allowed the researchers to race sets of material with one another. All of its ability were unaided by any external force. So far, the material can only last for 2 cycles before it dies. But researchers say that its longevity can be extended. Stop. Wow! Did you hear that? Amazing! To be honest, there is really nothing more I can say on top of what we already understand. Wow! But let's continue for more clues, shall we? Oh yeah, remember in our Uncle Daniel? They shall mingle themselves with the seed of man. Understanding? You understand, and you remember, right? Where different metaphysical factions was going to integrate and rule the puny humans unawares. If you remember that, listen closely under life-like machines. Quote, basically, the engineers at Cornell grew the machines, observed them metabolize, grow, evolve, race, and eventually decay. Such a creation could lead to self-reproducing, or perhaps even self-evolving machines. Now, they are working on how to make the material recognize stimuli and autonomously seek out food or light. autonomously. Basically, auto, that means by itself. Go out and look for it for yourself. It's autoimmune. It's just going to go. So, man, thank you. Anatomy, physiology. So let me go back and say that. I'm just going to call it the A word. Now, they are working on how to make the material recognize stimuli and A word seek out food or light, or even to avoid it if it's harmful. But even if their creation does present the 3 keys traits of life, the engineers are still not saying that their design is alive. Shh, listen to this. Personal quote. Listen to this double talk. Personal quote. We are introducing a brand new lifelike material concept powered by its very own artificial metabolism. We are not making something that's alive, but we are creating materials that are much more lifelike than have ever been seen before, said Don Liu of the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences, who worked on the research. Example, 5 words. Ghost in the machine. What? That was only 4 words. Oh, indoor.